and welcome to the Mom and Loving It show. We are in downtown Denison, Texas at the Main Street Fall Festival, and we're freezing. But anyway, we've been talking about in the previous two segments 2 guilt grenades that hit moms, and I think it's appropriate to call them grenades because it can kind of, when these things come in and you feel so guilty, it just kind of makes your whole life explode.
Right.
And so the third one today is probably the biggest one.
Yes.
When we surveyed moms, this was the one that they all said. And the guilt grenade is that they feel guilty for being angry with their kids. Can you relate?
Yes, yes,
Yes, we can relate.
Yes.
So we want to talk about that a little bit. And I know we're moms, we're people, we're humans. The thing is, anger is normal. If you look in the Bible, Jesus even got angry when they weren't using the temple the way that it was supposed to be used. And so anger's normal.
Right.
But it does say in Ephesians, in your anger don't sin. And so what does that mean?
Yes.
So we're going to talk about some ways that when you, maybe if you are angry, how do you keep from getting angry, but how do you get out of that too?
So we looked at, we asked the questions, there are triggers for moms that cause us to just explode sometimes. What are the triggers? What pushes your buttons, Mom? What is the thing that just really makes you lose it? And what we realized was one of the biggest things, especially if you have young children, that could just infuriate me is when I was getting ready to go somewhere. And I would many times be late, running late, so I'm rushing them. Somebody said one time, Sharon, that rushing a preschooler is like, it's like saying, hurry up and slow down. They don't know how to hurry. Preschoolers don't know how to hurry. And if you have a preschooler, you can attest to that. And so I would get so frustrated because they weren't hurrying, but really it was my fault because I wasn't planning ahead. And so that's one thing that I think that we can do as moms is not be in such a hurry, rushing. You got to plan ahead. You got to move a little slower. One mom mentioned in our book, she said, I just try not to rush out the door. Just go out the door. Don't rush. And I thought, what words of wisdom. I like that. So one of the triggers for our anger is being in a hurry.
And so when you do find yourself, another thing is that things come up that you can't control.
Right.
And so when those things do happen, when you have been in a hurry and you find yourself feeling angry or something happens that you can't control and you're angry, what do you do? And I know this may be the last thing that comes to your mind, but one of the things that you can do is to pray. Go to God, turn aside and just say, Lord, I need your help. What was the verse?
James 1:5 said, I love this. To me, it's the mom scripture. If any of you lack wisdom, ask God, who gives generously without finding fault. Ladies, God is ready to receive you. He is ready to encourage you. He is ready to hold you up when you're weary. I think that's one of the things for moms why it's so easy to get angry is because we're exhausted. We're tired and we're vulnerable and we don't have as much patience. And that's when ladies, lean on God. He wants to give you the strength to do what we need to do.
So pray, ask God to help you. And I've prayed that same verse, and I'm always amazed at the creative ideas that God gives me as far as discipline or whatever, just because I ask, and I'll have a thought that I know had to be from Him. But another thing is when you're angry, sometimes it's just better to laugh instead of cry. I remember driving in the car one time and my kids were just at each other, and I was so angry that I finally just said, if y'all don't stop doing this, I'm gonna stop this car and make you eat grass. Well, that was just completely ridiculous. And so I looked in my rearview mirror and my daughter was about to explode, and I laughed instead of cried, and it made the whole thing go away, diffuse. Yes. So there are lots of ways. We'll talk about that another time.
Yeah. Finding
routines to help make life go a little smoother. But anger is normal, but there are some ways to diffuse it. So not being so busy, ask God to help you, and then laugh instead of cry.
Have a great day. Thank you.